Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and today we're going to talk about helicopters. I know, yet another helicopter video. The thing that I really enjoy about learning helicopters is it's all new to me. So even if I'm getting my butt kicked, I can always be like, well, I learned something today. And honestly, I'm starting to see some results. So, to be fair, helicopters tend to be countered very easily by ground-based AA. Even if it's not radar guided, helicopters are often a sitting duck at around 2 kilometers range to even non-radar guided AA. So that's gonna be an issue for you about half the time. But every now and then you get a map where things can interfere with ground-based AA, and that is definitely the case in this lovely map of Vietnam. So this map is not all that fun for a ground vehicle in my opinion. I definitely prefer to see this from the air, and in a jet like the Narwhal, there's so many things rendering in and popping in and out, and so much ground cover that it's difficult to find your targets. So this is actually the perfect map for rocket-based helicopters. You get to run in, make your attack runs, you can see the enemy, you can duck behind cover. It's all rather fun. So here you see us performing some maneuvers that we picked up by spending a lot of time flying around in the helicopter enduring confrontation event. And if you want to learn and to grind helicopters, that's definitely the place to go. So you're going to see us employing some of the skills we learned there. This is the AH-1G. It has, I think it's 76 rockets. You can see the number there in rocket pods on the little stubby wings, and they're aimed up at an angle, so you have to nose down to get your rockets on target. You can see us now acquiring a target and already getting hits. We're also taking fire from the ground already, so we decide to turn and try and engage that enemy. Looks like they're not targeting us, so they probably were not an AA platform, just somebody spraying away with their machine guns, and we're taking hits. So we're pulling some serpentine maneuvers as we line up for our next attack run. And with the AH-1G, because the rockets are aimed so high, you can't see them, you can't see where they're aiming when you zoom in. So you have to do all of your aiming from a zoomed out third-person perspective, and I find that rather inefficient and annoying, but that's just the way it is for the G. The J model, I think it's the J, has rockets mounted the regular way, flat trajectory. So they're much more easy to aim, and you're able to aim with them. Whoa, let's pop the brakes here before we hit that mountain. And we've already gotten a critical hit on an enemy, so that's a good start. Excuse me. The rockets are much more simple to aim on later models of the Cobra, but of course, this is the only helicopter in the American tree that sits at an 8.0 battle rating. So if you want to avoid top tier, where helicopters are much more a part of the meta in the form of using their ATGMs to just, in my opinion, ruin the game, then this is your only option in the American tree, and you're stuck with the stupid elevation settings on the rockets. I really hate the way it works, but once you get used to it, and once you line up your reticle with the dot on your third-person view, whereupon your reticle completely conceals your target with the glow of the targeting reticle, then you're good to go. So we've picked up a couple of kills. We're headed back to base to resupply and repair our aircraft, and then we're back at it again. As you can see, even if you don't get targeted directly by ground-based AA, just enemy machine guns are going to do a significant amount of damage to your helicopter. When you're in a heli, it really is intense. But I suck at top tier in general, and I tend to do better in a helicopter at times than I do in ground vehicles. And if you do well enough, of course, you can spawn in a different kind of aircraft after that, and that could be kind of fun. Maybe I will try a 9.0 lineup with this helicopter. I think that could be fun. But for now, just avoiding those 10.0 top tier matches is definitely something that I want to enjoy as much as I can. I'm not a big player of top tier. So this has been a quick look at helicopters in tank RB matches. If you're using the rockets, I think it's a lot more fun. It really does take a lot of skill to manage to not get shot down by enemy tanks, and under the right circumstances you really can do well. But again, it only costs around 100 spawn points to jump into a radar guided AA and just shred every helicopter in your district. Even if you don't have a radar lock or they're outside of range for most of the ground-based AA, like the Gepard especially, or the Shilka, your incredible amount of rate of fire and the deadly effect of your projectiles is enough to shred any helicopter. Even if they're defensive flying, you just fill the sky with death. And top tier AA can just completely annihilate helicopters. I only got into one match where I faced the Italian automatic, but he killed me from like 5 clicks out. No worries. He just kept on firing those 75mm high velocity, high explosive radar guided or radar fused rounds until I died. So sometimes that's gonna happen, and unfortunately that's the case. Hopefully the automatic gets up tiered to 10.0. I really think it is a top tier vehicle. I doubt that the statistics would say otherwise. And as for helicopters, I'd like to see more of this, where we're being targeted by a Shilka. Our time is short. I'd like to see less of being targeted by a Shilka, thank you. But I'd like to see more of an encouragement for helicopters to exist with rockets and to do these attack runs. I really feel like they are just another attack aircraft, and in this setup I don't see why the AH-1G couldn't have a lower battle rating. I mean, honestly, at a 7.0 with things like the R30 being at a 3.3 which is ridiculous anyway. But I could see this at a 7.0 or even a 7.7. It doesn't have to always be in matches with radar guided AA. I don't think you need that to counter a rocket pod equipped helicopter, but that's just my humble opinion. All in all, I'm not gonna lie to you, most matches you just get shredded by ground based AA, or you mess up your attack runs on a tank, or somebody's really good with their ATGMs or their anti-air machine gun and you just get taken down. But there are a lot of skills you can use to make things work. If you engage the enemy on the front lines and don't move toward the rear where the radar guided AA tends to lurk, and if they don't have AA support on the front lines, you can make things happen with the rockets. You can also engage from extreme long range and make things work out for you. I'll look into learning this some more. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a painful experience, but it's been a lot of fun because it's all new things. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.